Welcome back to this video, and in this one we are going to be looking at the DCC Concepts Cobalt-SS Turnout controllers and the associated motors, which are these guys here. So there's one there and one there, and the set that I bought these in, you buy it as a controller and two motors, and I think they are something around £46 in the UK. Right, so fairly easy to set up, but a little bit more complicated than the underboard motors like these ones. With these I managed to get away with just using 3 of the connectors, 2 for power and 1 for the point. As you can see on here, we've got a few more. We have on this side, we have power coming in, and then for each of the frogs you need power as well, plus the frog, and that is the same on the other side as well. And then this is the cable harness for the motor. They're just as easy to program though. You've got a set and run button here. So to program it, move that across to set, select your accessory on your controller, type in the number. For mine, I chose 203, so that's my numbering system, and then select 1 or 2. It won't actually do anything because you're just setting it. Once you've done that, remember to move that across. A couple of occasions I've forgotten to do that and wondering why it's not working. It's still in program mode, so make sure that that's been put across to the run mode. The power comes in, these coming off of my DCC bus, as you can see here, and again with each of the frogs you need to power in. That one's feeding in from over there. If you can, I would suggest that you use smaller gauge wire for these. This is 16/02. It's a little bit on the thick side for these connectors, so 702 should be fine and probably be easy to do. What I did as well with the ends of these, I tinned them just to stop from the strands from snagging, possibly causing a short. But that's just, you know, my preference for how to do these. And then a little bit heat shrink on there just to prevent any, or help prevent any stray. There shouldn't be any, but I just think it's neater and, you know, just helps. Right, so you've programmed it in now onto your system. What you're going to need to do is adjust the length of the throw, which is the amount that this arm here will move backwards and forwards. I've offset mine slightly, as you can see. It's not lined up. When I line these up directly in front of the control arms for the points, it tended to stall the motors, but just by moving it across a little bit so that that's at a slight angle, that cured that problem. You've got 2 oval holes on the back of here where the screws are, to allow you some sort of adjustment backwards and forwards, and then once you've done that and you're happy with it, you can lock it in with the front too. What you may find is if your board isn't completely level, it may be a right pain setting it up. So on 2 of mine, this one over there, I've put it on a small piece of thin MDF, I think it's 4mm MDF, and used a different linkage wire, and that solved the problem. I just couldn't get it to work any other way. One of the other ones is done like that as well. If you've got one of the motors set up on a bit of board that's not completely level, like that one is over there, because it's sitting on top of where the plaster bandage is. It's not level there, so again I put it on a small piece of MDF, and that did the trick. When you get these in the bag, or in the box, sorry, packet, whatever you want to call it, you will get 4 different sets of linkage arms. As you can see there, you can see one end is bent over. That end goes into the motor itself, where the brass part of the arm is, and the other end goes into the controller there. As you can see, they can be a little bit fiddly to get in. I don't know if they were actually designed for O gauge, but I've got it to work. What you need to do is, there's a little peg that sits up on top of these. You can just see on that one there. You need to cut that off, and then drill through. I believe on 00 track, when you cut that off, there is actually a hole underneath it, so you don't need to drill it. But you will need to sort of wiggle it around to get it in, and to fit, because if I go back to these little arms, you'll see, like there, you got this sort of step bit. So this bit here needs to go through, and it's that plastic on the arm here underneath is quite thick. But basically what you might need to do is to go in from one direction, get it in, and then twist it round, and then pop it in to your arm there, and that should do it. It's just a little bit of fiddling around, but it does get there. Right, going back to here where we've got the adjuster, you can see these are LEDs. So you've got 4 main settings: small, medium, long, extra long, and these all to do with the throw on the motors. And then basically for each of those, you have got 2 LEDs that indicate. So you've got a lower setting, which that one comes on. You've got a mid-range setting where none of them are on, and then you've got a higher setting where this one comes on, and that is for each of these. So if you start off on small, it'll go this light on, both off, then this one on, then it'll go to this one, and that one will come on, then off, and then that one comes on. And then that's all done by turning this part here. So you can adjust the throw. If you get into a bit of a pickle with that and you think, stuff it, I need to start again, over here you've got a reset button. So this guy in here, and as it says on there, throw reset, hold 3 seconds. So you hold that, and then what will happen is your throw arm here will basically reposition itself into, I think it goes into the center, I'm not entirely sure, but basically it repositions itself. So yeah, there are a load more connections, none of which I've used. I think that's for a momentary switch. So you can activate them from a control panel if you want to. You've got LEDs and signals. I think that's what that is there. And you've got another switch there, so you've got 2 switches that you can use. But as I'm going to be controlling this all from GMRI, I don't really need that. And then you've also, if you've got more than one of these, you can piggyback them together power wise. So that's your power out to your next one. I decided against that because the other one's all the way over there, and it was just as easy to run another set of cables from the main DCC bus across and around, rather than having to pull them in through from this direction. But if you've got them so that these the controllers are close together, then you can quite happily daisy chain them together with that. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean eventually this this one here, if I pull out a little bit, this one will be covered by another signal box. I tried it with the one I got on the other side of the layout and it fits over that quite nicely, so that should hide that. The motors I shall leave as they are, because they are what they are, but I should just sort of hide the cables and stuff. I mean, these will be tacked down with a bit of hot glue gun or something just to keep them down. And these, can't think what they're called now, the cable ties, whatever you want to call them, cable clips, they'll be taken out. This is just to keep stuff in place at the moment. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Into the next video. Goodbye.